Hello to all my empty nest mamas out there. Welcome in. It's so great to have you here. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. I thought it would be important to start to get to know each other a little bit. So with that being said, I'm Amy Clinton, and I wanted to share a little background with you today. So my husband and I got married young. When we started talking about when we wanted to have children, we decided that we wanted to do it fairly early in life. And we did that intentionally because we wanted to have them young. And then we knew that, by the time that our oldest was 18, we would be in our early 40s. And whenever the first one was out of the house, I was just right in my early 40s. And then our second one left 2 years after that. And I was 42 years old. And, it was our plan to have all of this exciting things going on, all of these big plans and adventures happening. But honest, you guys, can I tell you, I felt old, old. I was tired. I was worn down. I wasn't very healthy. And honestly, I was a little fearful about the future. All the excitement that I had expected to come about with this big change in life was overshadowed by the fact that I was lonely and I just wasn't really sure what was going to come next. And after just getting through the shock of them being out of the house, right, I needed to figure out what was going on. So I started talking to other empty nest mamas. I talked to them about all the things. I talked about their feelings. I talked about their health, their routines, their careers, their goals, and what their plans were for the future. When I say I talked about all the things, I really mean all the things. And I came up with a list of things that we all were worrying about. All of these women in this season of life were all kind of concerned about the same things. They all fell under these same general topics. And as a certified health coach, I knew that I needed to do more. I knew that I needed to hone in specifically on this age group. And the more that I learned, the more excited I got about this topic, the more that I needed to know. And that was the birth of the third quarter transformation. That got me started on what I'm doing today. I came up with the name of the program one Sunday afternoon while my husband and I were watching football. We are big Steeler fans, and the first half of the game was over, and it was like a roller coaster of a game. There were a few touchdowns, and there seemed to be more than just a few turnovers. And I was sitting there kind of half paying attention, kind of half not, thinking about what was going on in my own life. And halftime was over, and that team came charging back out onto the field. They came back out with a renewed sense of purpose. They had lit a fire in that locker room that no one could contain. Their passion for the game was just oozing out of their pores. I began thinking about my kids leaving the house and moving out as my halftime. A time to regroup, a time to talk to the coach, see what improvements could be made, make an actionable plan, believe in the plan, take action. Halftime doesn't go on forever. It's short and it's concise. You turn for help where you need it. The coach is there to give you a different perspective. He has a completely different perspective from the field. He doesn't necessarily see what you see. You don't have to continue to discuss the problem over and over and over again and make 5 different plans. It's fast. Halftime is fast. You get in, you get it figured out, and you go. And now here I am in my third quarter, the third quarter of my game, the third quarter of my life, the quarter where everything can be turned around, where the game plan can be completely different from the first half. What started as a first half of the game where there were twists and turns and you didn't know what was going to happen, and you went up against your opponent and you saw their strengths and you saw their weaknesses, right? The same things happen in our life. And halftime was the time for me to be concise, to buckle down, to figure it out, so that then the third quarter felt like a whole new beginning. A whole new beginning. How exciting is that? And that's why I am so passionate about helping others. If I hadn't turned to my mentor, my coach, when I needed it most, I still would be stuck. I would still be trying to figure it all out. And I don't want that for you, Mama. I want your halftime to be short and sweet. I want you to get the plays that you need to hit that third quarter running. I want you to come out of that halftime with a renewed sense of purpose. I want you to be all in and full of passion. And so on that note, I'm really glad you're here. I would love to hear your story. Like seriously, I would love for you to share your story. Feel free to email me. My email is very simple. It's amy@amyclinton.com. That's right, you can't forget it. amy@amyclinton.com. Email me your story. One of my greatest hopes is that throughout this journey together, we form a community of strong, kind, passionate women who bond together to become the very best version of their authentic selves. When we each show up as who we are meant to be, that's when the good starts. That's when the good stuff starts happening. When we are who we are meant to be, that's when all the goodness comes around. So I'm excited to learn a little bit more about you. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here.